Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the 42nd meeting of the Mayor and City Council to order on November 22nd, 2021 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. DeWalt.
Here.
Mr. Les.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Sidnor.
Here.
President Nicholas.
Here.
Mayor Mel.
Our next agenda item are approval of the minutes. I'll read them off in list. It's work session on Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. 37th meeting on Monday, September 13th. 38th meeting on Monday, September 27th. Work session on Wednesday, October 6th. 39th meeting on Wednesday, October 13th. 40th meeting on Monday, October 25th. Closed session on Monday, October 25th. 41st meeting on Thursday, November 4th. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the minutes as read on the record.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor.
I vote yes, but I want to abstain from the minutes on November the 4th. I wasn't present. But the meeting on September 1st, September 15th, September 27th, October 6th, October 13th, October 25th, and closed session October 25th. I vote yes and abstain from the meeting on November the 4th.
Mr. Les.
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
President Nicholas.
Yes. Our next agenda item is the report of the Mayor and City Council. And tonight, I'll start with Councilman DeWalt.
Just one brief thing, because our number one complaint through the city is speeding motorists. They just passed a House bill on October 1st, which will enable Prince George's County to join Montgomery County in instituting speed cameras, and not only in a half a mile from a school district, but also in residential areas. And it takes the governance of the local city or municipality or whatever to approve it. And once that's done, then we could start putting speed cameras everywhere. So hopefully we get it, eventually get it passed. We get those speed cameras out there and we stop these people that are using our city as a thoroughfare and that are flying down our residential streets. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. This past Sunday, I partnered with Fresh Green and Smoothie King to do a turkey giveaway here in the town center. I also attended the Christmas tree lighting alongside the mayor, yourself, and the rest of the town. It was a well-attended event, and that's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Signor.
Thank you, Madam President. Kind of bittersweet, this one. But first, I want to say, been a great 2 years working with you and Councilman Velaz. I miss your leadership. And we call on you guys if I have any questions, because you guys, we lose a lot of experience on this council. So, but this new council going to come on board tonight. It's going to be willing, able, and step up, fulfill the mission as we promised to do for our citizens. So the things I've done in November, on November the 5th, I attended Fighters for Freedom. I was real impressed with that because the dogs are trained in Cumberland Prison. And I was a correction officer for 7 years in a federal prison. And, sorry, I thought I had some sound. And so, for the dog to be trained there was awesome. On November the 6th, Leeway Foundation and Prince George County Associate Realtors donated 20 turkeys to the city of Laurel. I took those turkeys to the Laurel Lake Senior Citizen Apartments. On November the 11th, Purposeful and Living and Giving Incorporation donated 80 turkeys to the city of Laurel. 40 turkeys went to Laurel Lake Senior Apartments, and 30 turkeys went to Selborne House, and other 10 turkeys went to various citizens in the community. On November the 12th, I'm a union man, so the union had an evening with laborers at Martin Crosswind. It was great. All the elected officials was there, so it was great evening celebrating with the unions on their celebration. Dr. Winfrey, a dentist here in Laurel, she's been in business for 15 years. She asked for a citation, and actually I'm a patient there. She asked me to present it to her, so I was honored to do that. So on November 18th, I went by her office and presented her with the mayor's citation and doing business in the city of Laurel for 15 years. On November the 19th, this is something I want to thank the council for because of the American Rescue money. We use $100,000 of that money to go to apprenticeship readiness program. And this is going to be very big for the city of Laurel and surrounding areas because we're going to train people in the apprenticeship readiness program. So you got 16 apprenticeship schools between Prince George County, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. With this readiness program, they get individual ideas of what kind of apprenticeship school they want to go into. So they get tours of the various schools, and they want to be a welder, electrician, a carpenter. It varies. So this will be a great opportunity to get prepared for that program. And with the infrastructure bill just passed, many jobs can be available. And so we can train folks right here in Laurel, right here on Montgomery Street. And on November 20th, the Zeta Sorority Incorporation, 06 Motor Riders, they did a turkey Thanksgiving giveaway at Laurel Elementary School. And that was big. We all had over 100 bags, gave out to this community. And so we did a lot of great things in November. Looking forward to many great things as well. So that's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Les.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll ask that you indulge me tonight. The last time I have to speak. November 10th, I attended the Patuxent River Commission meeting. November 11th, I attended a service celebrated by Cardinal Gregory of the Washington Archdiocese at St. Mary's Catholic Church to recognize the 100th anniversary of St. Mary's Knights of Columbus Patuxent Council 2203. November 11th, I attended a celebration of St. Vincent Pallotti High School's 100th anniversary. November 16th, I attended the City of Laurel Historic District Commission meeting. November 17th, I attended the Washington, D.C. Council of Governments Transportation Planning Board. There'll be some minutes that'll come. They'll come to the mayor, and he can circulate those as required. Finally, there's in this part of my report, condolences on the passing of former Laurel Mayor Danny Donahoe. She died in Arizona, I guess, this weekend. Did I get it right? My wife's shaking her. Okay. Indulge me for a minute. Good evening, friends and citizens of Laurel. Well, tonight ends a journey that began 42 years ago when I accepted an appointment to the City of Laurel Planning Commission. 17 years on the City of Laurel Planning Commission, followed by 25 years as a councilman. What a journey. I guess I could say what a ride, but what a journey. During those years, I was always supported by my wife, Mary Eileen, my daughters, Mary Ann and Katie, my son, Michael, and my grandson, Aiden, and my in-laws, Eric McKnight and Heather Les. In addition, I could always count on my mother-in-law, Winnie Morgans, for a kind word, and my Aunt Mary Martin for, I'll add, constructive criticism when necessary. She always had something to say about what I'd done. I was encouraged by Peggy Anderson and Bobby Joe DePietro to take on the commissioner's job on the Planning Commission, and after 17 years, Frank Casula and Craig Moe convinced me to run for a position on the Laurel City Council. Without the support of family and these friends, I could not have lasted these 42 years. If it was a prompt for my wife to be nice as I departed home on my way to a meeting or with citizens, or a caution from Frank Casula or Craig Moe to refrain from stepping into a pile of you-know-what, all of their support was welcomed. Supporting those comments was the support I received over the years from our city administrators, Ernest Zacchinelli, Christy Mills, Bill Goddard, Lou Ann Crook, and Christian Pulley, along with city solicitors Jim Mayer, Bob Manzi, John Shea, and Larry Taub. My job these past 25 years has always been supported by the employees of our city. As I have often been heard to say, their actions in responding to the issues that we raise makes each of us on the council look good. In often controversial actions that I participated in by the Planning Commission and Laurel City Council, I always cast my vote for the benefit of all citizens of Laurel, but with consideration of the concerns of each of our citizens. Working with my colleagues on the council and Mayor Moe during my time on the city council, we've embraced a concept of inclusive community while we strengthen the fiscal position of the city and the pension pools that will pay the promised pensions for our employees in the future. The incoming council and those that follow must be diligent to ensure that these fiscal positions are protected in spite of the threats like the pandemic, the impending inflation that is just over the horizon, climate change, and other unknown challenges yet to be identified. I have faith in our elected officials and our city staff to meet those challenges. Thank you, and God bless the citizens of Laurel and our United States. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. I've thought about this day for a very long time, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to say, but I'd just like to make just a few points. I first like to thank God for giving me this opportunity to serve as not only your councilwoman and your council president, but to be the first African-American female to serve is an honor. I thank the citizens for all the years of support. I've served 5 terms, undefeated, 10 years. So that's something to just be very proud about. I thank everyone for helping me. I'd like to thank the mayor. I'd like to thank the city staff, the police department. I'd also like to thank the Laurel Historic Museum for putting me in the museum and recognizing me as the first African-American councilwoman. Just to give you a little bit of background about me, I served, I moved here in Laurel in 2001. And my first person I met with politician was the mayor. And he opened his door to let me come in to speak with him. And that's how I really got interested in politics as I rode around the city and saw a lot of things that I wanted to do. In the midst of that time, I have started a nonprofit called Love Is Not Enough. As some of you all may know, I am a survivor of domestic violence, and my baby was killed in '95. He beat me up in my 7th month of pregnancy. And as a result of that, I started Love Is Not Enough because I used to always say love is not enough. Since that time, I've received a number of grants from the state and from the county. So I feed the homeless every day. I help people in need, domestic violence victims. And I'm saying all of this because I'm just down the street. If you run across people that may need services or may need help, my number and my door is always open. I'd also like to say that it's been a nice serving with all men, but I would like to encourage women, not just for the city of Laurel, but across the country to serve, to open up and start, running for these elected offices. Again, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. God bless you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. A couple comments and then really a couple pieces of business, but more importantly, to recognize you and Councilmember Les at your last meeting. Let me acknowledge and this year I got the age right, I want to acknowledge my dad's birthday today, who turns 93 years old. So wishing him the very best. Thank you all. I'll tell him tomorrow that you all applauded. He probably will not believe me when I say that, though. Let me also, Mike, let me know tonight on the passing of Danny Donahoe. We have the Donahoe Nye Park, which is off of Van Dusen Road, and turned out very well. Danny at that time couldn't make it, but she was very pleased, and she was the first female mayor that we had here in the city of Laurel. So I'm sorry to hear of Mayor Donahoe's passing. Back in October, Marilyn Johnson Design Studio, the Economic Development Week, we made a presentation to her along with the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. And if you haven't been to her studio before, I encourage you to take a trip. It's quite a fascinating story that she has. We were glad to recognize her. We did have the Mayor's Association of Prince George's County, their monthly meetings, as well as with the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments meeting, the awards committee as well. I do want to acknowledge our Park and Recs Department, who did a takeaway treat spooktacular at the Robert J. DePietro Community Center. Did it in a safe manner, a lot of people, and they appreciated the hard work that our staff does every year, it seems like, since we've been dealing with this pandemic, but they also do it every year. And they do a great job. Joanne, I want to acknowledge your staff and thank you all. As you heard, Fighters for Freedom did an upgrade in their bathrooms, and they worked with Lowe's, got a grant on that. We were invited to participate in that ribbon cutting, and it's the first time I had been to a ribbon cutting for a bathroom upgrade. So it was, but it was very nice. Fighters for Freedom is right across the street. I encourage you to take a look at them, and on their website, there's many organizations do a lot of things in this community. This is the time, and I know it's been difficult for everybody. This is the time when we try to give to all those many individuals and organizations that are out there working day in and day out for us, and they're one of those. As you heard, I did attend the Growing Green with Pride 2021 at Scotchtown Hills Elementary School. I just went by to thank them, hand them a city pin, and appreciate the work that they had done as well. And then I got to go to the centennial party at the Morningside House, and it was quite an honor, and recognize those individuals with citations and city pins. The town of Brentwood did a flower garden dedication to Chief of Police Bob Altoff. Chief Altoff was a member here in the police department, retired as a major. And on November the 11th, they did their new Veterans Day ceremony, but they dedicated this flower garden to Chief Altoff. I thought it was a nice honor, and congratulate him, and I was happy to be invited and participate. Same thing with the Harvest Moon hayride. That, again, Joanne, to you and your staff, thank you for all that you all have done, and big group there. On the 13th, I did attend the Knights of Columbus Patuxent Council 2203, their 100th anniversary. I want to congratulate them for their 100th anniversary, and they are one of the ones in the community that are also providing food for those in need, and we wish them the very best and thank them. You heard on Fresh Green over at the town center, we had a couple things going on there. There was a Thanksgiving food drive. The tree lighting was done as well, just a great event. And although I didn't get by, I want to acknowledge the Laurel Lions Club. They did a canned goods and non-perishable food drive down at 204 Fort Meade Road. And then our police officers and Councilman DeWalt were there along with other volunteers at Lars, helping those in need again. And our police department does that. And some are here, Chief. I want to acknowledge the work that you all do and appreciate that as well. A couple announcements. On November the 25th and 26th, the city offices will be closed in observance of Thanksgiving, trash recycling, so check our schedule. Reeves Across America, we will be doing our event here on Saturday, December the 18th at 11 p.m. This event, it's gotten so big, will be outside in the parking lot as you come into the municipal center. They will do a brief ceremony, and then from there, they will take Reeves across the street to Ivy Hill and present them to the volunteers. So we encourage you to come up, dress accordingly. Hopefully the sun will be shining and there won't be any snow. But we encourage you to participate, and they are also, again, asking that you wear a face covering as well. Madam President, I have a proclamation that I'm going to go down in front. I have a proclamation, 2134, whereas the City of Laurel wishes to celebrate local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and to the community, and whereas small businesses employ 47.3% of all employees in the private sector in the United States. 62% of all U.S. businesses, small businesses, reported that they need to see consumer spending return to their pre-COVID levels by the end of 2020 in order to stay in business. 65% of all U.S. businesses, small businesses owners say that it would be helpful for their business to have their regulars return and start making purchases again. And 3/4 of the U.S. consumers are currently looking for ways to shop small and support their local community. And whereas now more now than ever, it is important for people to support the small businesses that they value in their community. And whereas the City of Laurel supports local businesses because they create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Small Business Saturday after Thanksgiving. And now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November the 27th, 2021, as Small Business Day in the city of, in the city of Laurel. And our Economic Development Deputy Director Brown is with us. If she'd come up and if you want to say a few words, remind everybody to spin.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to say a couple of words. Director Rob Love could not be here tonight, so I would like to promote an event that we're having on November 27th, which is Small Business Saturday. At 378 Main Street, we will have a table from 10 a.m. to noon, where we will be handing out fresh coffee and donuts. We encourage you to come out and spend money on Main Street, and we will have a raffle. So up to $500 worth of small business goods from Laurel Small Businesses will be available. So we encourage you to come out. Thank you.
Laurel, Parks and Recreation. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the following members you read in the record.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Sidnor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt,
Yes.
Mr. Les,
Yes.
President Nicholas.
Yes. Our next agenda item is general public hearing. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, well, we're not holding virtual, so I won't read that. Sorry about that. Is there anyone signed up to speak, Ms. Rao?
There's nobody signed up to speak.
So I open the public hearing at 6:23 p.m. and I close it at 6:23 p.m. since no one has signed up to speak. Our next agenda item is introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 12-21, a resolution of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland to rescind resolution number 8-20 and authorize the mayor to contract independent counsel to work with city staff to negotiate a Verizon cable television franchise agreement and providing an effective date. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. Mayor Mo. I'm sorry. Mr. Frost.
Thank you, Madam President. Mayor and council members. Resolution 1221 rescinds Resolution 820 and authorizes the mayor to hire independent counsel, specifically with franchise negotiation experience. If you remember back, Resolution 8-20 authorized the city to enter a consortium with the county and other municipal governments within the county to negotiate the Verizon franchise. You may also remember that we are doing this currently with our Comcast franchise, which expired 5 years ago. We are still in that negotiation, although I can tell you that we're down to 2 items that are being negotiated vigorously. I think we'll be done soon. Over that time, and recently, we came to think that it's in the best interest of the city if we were to complete the negotiation with the Verizon franchise within the city with our city staff and with the specialized counsel. That would be the best for us. So we'll rescind Resolution 820 and authorize the mayor to hire specialized cable franchising counsel. I'll entertain any questions.
This also gives us the opportunity to allow them to update our current code, which is way
Yes.
behind.
Yes, so we'll also be looking at Chapter 5, our cable television code, which has not been touched in 20 years. So we will also look at that.
There's no one signed up to speak on this item.
I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:26 p.m. and I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:26 p.m. since no one is signed up to speak. I'll entertain a motion to suspend the council rules.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt?
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor?
Yes.
President Nicholas?
Yes. I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution number 12-21.
So moved, Madam President.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
Mr. DeWalt?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Sidnor?
Yes.
President Nicholas?
Yes.
Mayor Mo?
Mayor Mosley, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a couple things that we want to finish up on before we swear in the new council. One of those is, as we've made the announcement before, Luann Crook, our city administrator, is retiring after 32 years with the city of Laurel. Lou, you want to stand up so everybody knows? There you go. There you go. Luann's been with me a long time since I've been mayor. She's been making sure I do the right things. Actually, if you noticed, it's all women that are in charge here during the day, Monday, well, around the clock, quite frankly. And Lou's been one of those. We go way back. We went to school together, but she had already been here at the city, and I can't thank her enough for all that she's done here in the city. And I really do. Where's her husband, Joe? Where's Joe at? Stand up there, Joseph. And, I want to thank Joe as well. You know, Lou had talked about retiring a little bit earlier, but when Bill Goddard got sick, she stuck it out and said she would be here and stay until the end of the year. And that meant a lot, and I appreciate that very much. But we have some very capable people that are coming in behind her. Christian Pulley will be the city administrator January the 1st. Go ahead, stand up, everybody. Show them your new due. So Christian will be the city administrator. Our deputy city administrator will be Joanne Barr. And Joanne's been here quite a few years, and I appreciate her accepting when I offered her the position and hopefully she'll stick around for a while longer. But she's done a great job in the Department of Park and Rec, and I know she'll do a great job as a deputy. And Bill is not here. Bill is one of her assistants, Bill Bailey, and Bill is been here longer than anybody. He started way back when he came out of school, and Bill will be the director on January 1st of 2022, and thank the council for supporting those. So we just have a couple recognitions, and we want to go to the council, but I do want to do Proclamation 2021-38, honoring Luann Crook, retiring city administrator, CAO of the city of Laurel, Maryland. Whereas Luann Crook began her service in the city of Laurel as an administrative specialist in the Department of Public Works on July the 19th, 1989. Was promoted to senior administrative assistant on December 28, 1992, and then reclassified to the office manager on July the 1st, 1999 in the Department of Public Works. Whereas on July the 31st, 2000, Luann moved to the Department of Finance as a financial manager. And whereas on June the 1st, 2002, a staff evaluation was done when I became the mayor that determined Luann to be the best person to assume the position of executive assistant to the mayor, where she served capably and admirably for 14 years. And on January the 1st of 2016, I appointed Luann as the chief of staff, the first person in Laurel government to hold such a position. And whereas Luann was promoted to deputy city administrator on October 1st, 2018, with the illness of our city administrator, William F. Goddard III. Luann took the role of acting city administrator on December the 28th, 2020, position she held until she was promoted to the city administrator chief administrative officer's position on May the 10th, 2021, only the second woman to hold the highest appointed position in the city of Laurel. And whereas a career city employee, Luann's tenure with the city of Laurel spans over 32 years of dedicated service. She has vast hands-on experience and knowledge in Laurel's government practices, policies, and procedures. And whereas Luann has been committed and a loyal public servant and has worked tirelessly and cooperatively to promote the well-being of the citizens of the city of Laurel and other employees she has worked with and has served with. Whereas Luann, who has been involved in numerous initiatives of great importance in the city of Laurel, Prince George's County, and the state of Maryland, and has served her role as city administrator, CAO, with professionalism, integrity, and compassion. And whereas Luann's city service, she has received numerous awards, commendations, and letters from elected officials and the public, which shows her positive and helpful relationship with many during her collaborative work with the city of Laurel and the community. And whereas the city of Laurel wishes to recognize Ms. Luann Crook for her dedication and excellent service to the citizens of Laurel and express our sincere appreciation for her long and distinguished career in the city government service. And now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim November the 24th, 2021 as Luann Crook Day in the city of Laurel, and ask all citizens, business, and staff to join us in congratulating Luann Crook and wish her a healthy and fulfilling retirement. Lou, we got the come on, baby. Just hang on to that for a second. Luann and Kim were also the first that we sent down to Annapolis. A lot of locals pay for high-paid lobbyists. We took Luann Crook, and at that time we had Kim Rao for the clerk to the council. They both went to Annapolis for many years, making sure that the interests of the city were protected, quite frankly. So, Kim and Lou, you want to present those two to her? Okay, so Lou, would you like to say anything? Come on up.
"32 years 5 mayors, 15 or 16 city council, 4 city department. I'm really happy that I get to say goodbye in this season of gratitude because I'm truly grateful to have had this dream job for 32 years. For endless opportunities to grow, learn, and thrive in good times and hard times, to be dedicated to public service in my old hometown for the good of all who live here. I'm grateful for my City of Laurel family, here and gone, near and far, who make up a team that I'm so proud to be on. I'm grateful for some very special friends and experiences, so many memories, laughs, and tears. I'm grateful for my family, for their love and support, and to my husband, my regular Joe, who stood beside me and with endless support, patience, and tolerance, and kept me stable all these years. And to Mom and Dad for teaching me a strong work ethic and for teaching me that I could do anything I wanted to in this world. 32 years ago, I didn't know how much this would all mean to me. And looking back, I'll remember all the good stuff and that it was worth every minute. Thank you.
Good job. Great job. She read that off her iPhone, and I have to have mine blown up to 22 font so I can read it, so I'm glad you were able to do that. I'm going to ask Councilmember Les and Councilmember Nicholas if they'd come down maybe on each side. We had already done some things for Luann internally. We did a lunch, and the department heads made some presentations, so we're going to do that tonight here. We'll try to move it along quickly. But we want to make sure Mike and Valerie are both down. So I have 2 proclamations, one for Mike and one for Valerie, and we'll read those, and then we'll make the presentation, and we have some gifts as well, one on each side maybe. Good. So the first one is Proclamation 2136, which is recognizing Councilwoman Valerie M.A. Nicholas for her years of service to the City of Laurel. Whereas in 1986, Councilwoman Valerie M.A. Nicholas moved to the Washington, D.C. area from Roanoke, Virginia, making her way to the City of Laurel in 2001. And whereas during that time, she completed 20 years of service with the federal government, which included positions as a White House appointee where she served and 2 former presidential appointments under the Clinton administration. And whereas prior to the White House service, she worked in several roles on the U.S. Senate Commerce Committee with former Senator John C. Danforth, who was the ranking member. And whereas after volunteering for many years as a community advocate, in 2007, Valerie formed Love Is Not Enough, Inc., a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization that addresses the issues of domestic violence and other social issues, where she continues to work helping residents of the greater Laurel area. And whereas on June 2011, Valerie was appointed to complete the remaining six-month term of a Ward 1 council member, making her the first African-American female to serve in the Laurel City Council. And whereas during the November 2011 general election, Councilmember Valerie Nicholas was elected to represent Ward 1, making her the first African-American woman to be elected to the Laurel City Council. And whereas Valerie was reelected in November of 2019 to her 5th term, and she was honored to be selected as council president from among her council colleagues. Valerie is the first African-American woman to serve as the council president. And whereas Valerie has served the city and its residents well by attending and taking part as a committee member or a chair with the City of Laurel Tree Board, Citizens Advisory Committee for Persons with Disabilities, Education Advisory Committee, the Homelessness and Services Task Force, as well as taking part in the Mayoral Municipal League, National League of Cities, and the Prince George's County Municipal Association. And whereas currently she is employed by the Adventist Healthcare System as a patient advocate, she formerly worked with the University of Maryland Laurel Medical Center, where she managed 3 departments that included volunteer services, patient relations, and pastoral care, serving as a chaplain. And whereas after serving 10 years on the Laurel City Council, Valerie's decided to retire from elected public service to enjoy a well-earned retirement for local government. This will allow her to be more involved with her nonprofit organization and spend more time with family and friends. And whereas Valerie has our respect she has achieved by working with other members of the City Council and the City of Laurel community. Now therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim November the 23rd, 2021 as Councilwoman Valerie Nicholas Day in the City of Laurel, and ask all citizens, business, and staff to join us in thanking and congratulating Councilwoman Nicholas for her her time with the City of Laurel and the Laurel community. We also have some gifts from the city, and they're presenting her with some flowers. You can open those up if you want, but let me go to Mike's. That's why I said, just stand over there nice and quiet. I know you're the council president. You're almost, So this is proclamation number 2137, recognizing Councilmember Mike R. Les to his service in the City of Laurel. Whereas Mike R. Les came to Maryland in 1958 when his father, United States Air Force, was assigned to the U.S. Second Army at Fort George Meade. Hold on, Mike. What's his Rubio. So, there we go. Sorry, Mike. Whereas Mike attended St. John's and Delaware State Universities, returning to Laurel in 1969. In 2020, Mike retired from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, friends to all of us, in Washington, D.C., with 45 years of service. His last assignment was as national president of the Professional Managers Association. And whereas prior to being elected to the Laurel City Council, he served the City of Laurel Planning Commission for 17 years, serving as its chair for 8 of those years. And whereas Mike was elected to the Laurel City Council on March the 18th, 1996, serving 12 terms, 7 of those years as council president. And whereas with the sudden death of Mayor Frank P. Casula in 2001, Council President Les, as required by our city charter, was appointed to serve as the mayor of the City of Laurel until the next election in 2002. And whereas the level of commitment and service brought to the city by Mike will forever be the benchmark for future council members to follow. Through his efforts, additional contributions have consistently been made to the City of Laurel's pension fund. There has been no tax increase in city property tax for over 14 years. The city has increased funding for public safety agencies, providing guidance to new members of the city council, supporting those efforts to grow and sustain a solid financial base, adopting strong balanced budgets, and a culture of service that will allow the city not only to be prepared for the future, but fully embrace the future. And whereas during Mike's tenure on the city council, he served on and was chair of various various committees, commissions, and boards in the city, in addition to serving in those capacities on Prince George's County Municipal Association, the Maryland Municipal League, the National League of Cities. Locally, he has also served on the board of directors of the Laurel Regional Hospital Foundation, as well as the Maryland Municipal League Convention Planning Committee and the Legislative Committee, the National League of Cities Transportation and Infrastructure Advocacy Group. And in 2004, Mike was elected to the Board of Directors for the Prince George's County Municipal Association and served 9 years. Mike recently served on the Board of Directors at the Laurel Regional Hospital Foundation and to the Board of Directors of the Federal Employees Education and Assistance Fund. And whereas in 2005, Mike was appointed by Governor Ehrlich and reappointed in 2007 and again in 2013 by Governor O'Malley to the Patuxent River Commission, where he is currently serving as its chair. In 2009, Mike was appointed to the Maryland Business Tax Reform Commission, which issued a final report to the Governor O'Malley in December of 2010. Whereas Mike's commitment to his community He is a member of the St. Mary's of the Mills Catholic Church, the Laurel Board of Trade, a life member of the American Legion Post 60, the Laurel Historical Society, and the National Eagle Scouts Association. And whereas after all these successes as mayor and as a member of the Laurel City Council, he has decided to retire to enjoy more time with his family, his friends, and with his very special grandson, Hayden. And now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the mayor of the city of Laurel, do hereby proclaim November the 25th as Councilmember Mike R. Les Day in the city of Laurel, and ask all citizens, business, and staff to join us in thanking and congratulating Councilmember Les for all of his service to our community. Mike? We're going to ask Mary Eileen if you want to come up, get your flowers. I'll even let you talk if you want. We have some flowers for Mary Eileen. We want to let Mike present to her as well. Turn. Thank you very much. We also have some gift, Mike, for you, and then who are we going to, all the departments that want to recognize both of you to come up. We'll move this along. While they're making their way up, Valerie's going to tell you what you got. Oh, you got your gavel. Michelle, you want to come on up, and then we'll go to Steve. I'm not sure we could jump right to him. So.
Miss Nicholas, to know you is to know that you're very strong in your faith, so I hope that when you wear this, you will remember us from the Department of Budget and Personnel Services, and to know that your faith is an inspiration to all of us, and that we thank you for your support of our department and our mission and your friendship. Thank you.
You got a check from me tonight. So I'm square with the city.
So, Mr. Les is on the council when I started with the city. Longer time than I care to admit. But he would stop by our office. We have the window on the hallway side, and he would stop in and ask the ladies if they filled up the wheelbarrow that day with the money. Collected all the money, we got the money. So we would like to present this to you.
I got my wheelbarrow full of money finally. Thank you, kiddo. I'm a lucky boy.
So I would just like to again thank Mr. Les and Ms. Nicholas for all their support of our department, and for always treating us with respect, and to understand and appreciate the work that we do, because we all work really hard to try to do the best for the city.
Hearing aid. My hearing aid fell out. I'm still trying to hear Michelle. First off, I would like to say, in behalf of the Department of Fire Marshal Permit Services, which I've only been a director for a year and 1 month, but before that, establishing the Office of Emergency Management within the city, and because of the mayor and President Nicholas and Councilman Les, Laurel is one of the few municipalities, if not the only municipality in Prince George's County that has their own Office of Emergency Management. And I think that is a great, great benefit. I have two gifts here, one for you, if I could, Valerie, and I would like to present this not only on behalf of the department, but on behalf of Bill Goddard, too. because he admired both you and Mike very much. So here you go. Thank you. May I?
Yes.
And for Mike, I got a couple things here, Mike, for you. I hold the distinction of being the oldest employee in the city, believe it or not. It's the only list I've ever been top of. But I want to personally thank Valerie and Mike. I've worked at the municipal, the county, the state, the fed level, and when you get to working with politicians, it is sometimes a little trying. However, in my 5.5 years here at the city, you couldn't ask for two better people. Not only are they politicians, but first off, they're people, and I consider them my friends, and I wish them all the luck. Thank you.
He did.
I'll be brief in my remarks, and I'll start with Council President Nicholas. I want to send our deepest congratulations on this next journey of your life and your retirement. And I also want to convey our gratitude for your support for ECD over the years, coming to events. It has not been unnoticed. So thank you. Councilman Les, I also want to extend our deepest gratitude to you for your support of the department, and I wish you the very best in retirement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Valerie, the Department of Information Technology would like to thank you for your 10 years of service to the city. It has been a privilege to see you up there as the council president in your last term. And your support for technology projects. I know that we have brought you along with a lot of technology. And we are extremely excited about your nonprofit. We've talked about it today in the office, and we look forward to the great things you're doing there. And I can honestly say that your times in the office here recently, I've never seen you so happy. So here's a small token of appreciation from the IT department. Thank you. Mike, I've been working with you for a long time, going back to almost 30 years. I think I was on the Historic District Commission with you back then. And you are the one council member who has technology experience from your past. And so we appreciate your support of all the technology we've done in the past couple of years as we've raised the bar here in technology in the city. And I appreciate the advice on the side and the discussions on technology. And we look forward to seeing you around. I'd also like to thank you for your many years of service in the federal government, the city of Laurel, and I did not hear this mentioned, but Mike is a Coast Guard veteran. I'm a Coast Guard veteran, so with this, I will say fair winds and following the seas coast.
Good evening, everybody. I'll definitely be brief, Mr. Mayor. I'm one of the newest directors, if not the newest thus far, for the Department of Public Works. And as you all know, parking is always an issue in the city. So we've started a tradition. I hope to carry it on. The Department of Public Works would like to first thank Council President Nicholas for her time. I also want to personally thank her for mentoring me. I'm a Ward 1 resident. She has definitely helped me along as I started my journey in the city. So I think this is appropriate. And just say thank you for your service to the city and always support the department. So, Councilmember Les and I have a history because his wife, not only a friend of mine, but I sat on the board of appeals for a while. She learned to put a bug in my ear, and so it helped me along and carry me by the hand, tell me what's right from wrong, same way she did. And so I really appreciate that. And you've been a mentor to me also. always supportive of the Department of Public.
Council President, Council Member Les. I have been around the city for probably more years than you actually wanted to admit, Michelle. So I have been very fortunate to work with both of these individuals, first as a staff member and then now as a director. And I cannot thank you enough, both professionally and personally, for everything that you have done, the support that you have shown our department, showing up to events, whether it's serving up eggs at our breakfast with Santa or helping us to plant a tree. It doesn't go unnoticed. It just means so much to, at every level, the staff people. So I can only thank you personally and professionally. And as well, normally we give a golf win shirt, but you always have such beautiful jewelry on, and we definitely did not want to hide it. So I've come up with something different for you. And then finally, just the dedication that you have to the members of our community, the caring and ensuring that people are always helped has meant the world to our department, and we hope that we'll continue to be able to work with you at the Laurel Multi-Service Center. So thank you so much. Mr. Les, I remember my Mike Lotsky, the former director, telling me anything you needed to know about the Patuxent River, you just make sure you ask Mr. Les, and you have never let me down. Everything I know about the Patuxent River has come through you, and I thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say enough about the dedication that you've given to the city and the support that you've given our department, and as well, Mary Eileen and Katie and Aiden, seeing you down at the pool, using our services, coming out to our programs again, it means so much to us. And Aiden, you're going to be a lifeguard because we hope to see you down there. But thank you so much from the Department of Parks and Recreation. And I think, Joe, you said once you get a gift from the Parks and Recreation Department, you know you have to retire. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
I have to tell you, I'm actually so sad to have you both leaving at the same time, because you have been, bar none, some of the most gracious elected officials I've ever worked for. And it's been a pleasure to help shine a light on all the wonderful things you both have done. And I think what you share in common is a legacy. The legacy you are leaving this city is, bar none, the most impressive thing I've ever seen here. And I just feel so fortunate that little girls coming up in the city of Laurel and beyond can see the legacy that you've created here, and it's wonderful. And yes, please, honestly, it's fantastic. And I will say that Miss Nicholas is one of the most passionate and persistent city officials I've ever met. When she had a story that she wanted to tell, she beat a path to my door to make sure that we got it. Thank goodness there's no carpeting there, because she would have worn a path in the carpeting trying to get her stories told. But what I love about her, and I will always love about you, is that you will call me and thank me for every single syllable, every word, every vowel or consonant I wrote for you. And that kind of gratitude is so special. But I'm beating you to the punch. You don't have to request a copy of every story that you did with the city of Laurel. We have made a flash drive of every piece of video that we could find on you, and we want you to take this with you. It's all of your special stories, your homelessness interviews. It's all on here. The COVID messages, everything is on here, and I can't tell you how much I'm going to miss you. So thank you. Take that on behalf of us. And it's surprisingly, when we were doing a a survey trying to find all the stories. I thought for sure Valerie would have more than just about anybody. But I will say, Councilman Les, we found so many stories on you. You did the same thing. You would call and say, I have something in my neighborhood I want you to come over and talk to us about. And we would beat a trail to come talk to you. It was never a waste of time. It was always a great story. And it was all about your passion for the citizens of Laurel. And what I will love about you and never forget is during the company's Christmas party just a few weeks ago, you were coming out with your lunch that the city provided, came into my office and said, I guess we're having lunch together, Audrey. I said, I guess we are. So you sat down and told me some of the most wonderful historic stories about Laurel. I just am fascinated, and I want to talk more. We could have sat there all day and just shared stories about Laurel and your love for this city, and what you are taking with you it can't be wrong. Your shoes can never be filled. And I have done the same thing for you inside, thanks to Joyce, who did much of this work, finding all these stories. We have a flash drive with some of your most precious moments. When you read our Christmas story last year with Aiden by your side, it's on here. Okay, so you have a copy that you can share with your family forever. So thank you so much for everything. I'm going to miss you.
Those are not badges, just so you know. I just can't thank the two of you. I know the mayor wants me to be short here. He's dreading me coming up here because I tend to go long. So just want to thank both of you for your support. I've been here compared to everybody else, I've been here since lunch. But everybody on our department really appreciates the support both of you have given us through the years. You need to know nothing else other than this is not our normal assignment of officers to a council meeting. They came over to pay their respects to the two of you for your service to the city and your constant support of the police department over the years. Especially difficult over the past couple of years, and I don't think really get how much we appreciate that value. So thank you to the both of you. Best wishes going forward. I know whatever you do going forward, you're going to enjoy and successful. So thank you, and thank you personally. Thank you.
I'm just going to say some quick remarks and then I'm done. I don't even know what else to say. I'm speechless. I thank everybody. When I first got elected, I didn't know a lot. And I did not acknowledge Mike Les. Mike said to me my first night when I got appointed, he said to be your own counsel. And I did not know what that meant, but I know what it means now. I made it a point to make sure that I got to know all of the staff and the directors in the great police department that we have. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. It has been an honor to serve. Bye.
Thank you to all the employees of the city of Laurel. As I said, and I'll say it one more time, they make the council look good. Thank you.
So that's the awards we have tonight for the outgoing council. Let me just say just a few comments about each. I've known Mike Les for many, many years, and Mike has been a dedicated council member for a long time, and I mean that sincerely. He hounds you until something gets done. If there's a problem out in the community, he finds ways to fix it. He not only writes you letters, but he does follow up, and he makes sure that the administration is working for the community. Mike is also the one that told me when I first became mayor to said constantly put money into the pension system. And at that time, I didn't know what he was talking about. And today I do understand. And Mike has made a difference in that. We have done that. This council has done this. And hopefully future councils will continue to do that. The more that we can put into the pension fund, the better it is for our employees to make sure that they have a secure pension system. Valerie, I met first time when she showed up in my conference room, and she wanted me to go buy her a Winnebago and for her charity. And I was like, we don't have money for Winnebagos. But I said, we'll support you any other way we can. She said, I'll get it on my own. Are you getting one on your own? Getting one on her own with her foundation. She's going to do the work in the community, and she's always been there and helps a lot of people. And I really appreciate the work that both of them have done. It's been a pleasure working with both of them. And there's a lot of things that the community doesn't see, not just with Mike and with Valerie, but anybody that sits up here, quite frankly. They don't see the things, sometimes there's threats. They don't see the things where people are nasty to them because they didn't vote the right way or they didn't do something they wanted. And most of those people that are always griping don't even live in the city and don't even realize it. And but they've hung in there, and this council has hung in there, and it's not getting easier. It's getting more difficult to take care of individuals within the community. We have many, many needs. We're dealing with food distribution net right now. We're helping people with utilities payments. There's a whole lot of things that the general public doesn't see. And I might add, there are mayors and councils, and I network with a lot of them because I go to a lot of meetings. There are mayors and councils that don't even talk to each other. I talked to a council member the other day and said something about their mayor, and they said, I haven't talked to that mayor in 3 months. That's crazy. We may have our differences up here, but we talk to each other. We're respectful. We do things behind, I shouldn't say that. I will deal and talk to council members to try to work things out, not necessarily into the general public. And then we have work sessions. But I think everyone is fair. Everybody has an opinion. Where it gets difficult is how we get to that position that we're all trying to do. But the bottom line, as corny as it sounds, we're all here to do what's right for the community and support the community. Mike and Valerie have done that. The council members that are sitting up here that will be swearing in are making commitments to do that. And I just want to say to both Mike and Valerie, it's been a pleasure to work with both of you all, and to the things that you all have done. I think down the road we'll see a lot of those benefits. So thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further business to come before the mayor and city council, this meeting is adjourned. Sine die.